It was carved out of a blue sapphire. So Lord Vishwakarma, or the divine architect, had carved him. He came disguised in form of an old man and he told, I will do it. So the single person who does the service, the one example is the Gajapati Maharaja, the photo, the current king of Puri, Snana Mandapa. There they are offered 108 pots of sacred water. That is the only day in the year they are getting a bath. Atop the main temple there is a wheel or Sudarshana Chakra. That is the symbol of Lord Vishnu. Raghunatha Vesha, Lord Jagannath becomes the elder brother and Lord Balabhadra becomes the younger brother. How? Jai Jagannath. So today's satsang topic is Sri Jagannath and his worship over the ages. And this particular picture, as you all know, photography is strictly prohibited inside the Sri Jagannath temple campus. I will tell Sri Mandir because locally we call Sri Jagannath temple as Sri Mandir. So as photography is strictly prohibited in the Sri Mandir premises, this is exactly the way the deities are seated on the altar of the main temple. First one from left side is Lord Balabhadra. Besides him, Goddess Subhadra. Lord Balabhadra is the eldest brother or Balaram. Near to him is seated Goddess Subhadra, his sister, and next to her, Lord Jagannath, as we all know him. So he is seated at the extreme right, and next to him another, there is a wooden stick like structure. Lord Sudarshan we call him. It is his weapon but represented as a stick or pole. So they are called the four deities, or in local language we call Chaturdha Murti. Murti means idol, Chaturdha means the four idols. So we will know about the worship of Sri Jagannath. So first I will recite a shloka or Sanskrit verse from the text or Shastras. Harihi Anantaha, Hari Katha Ananta. Hari means Lord Vishnu or Sri Jagannath. He is infinite and his stories are also infinite. In the Puranas, it is said that the smallest form is Paramanu. It can be translated into atom or subatomic particles, but in Sanskrit text, the term described as Paramanu or the smallest form of matter. And the largest or biggest form of matter is Mahavishnu. It can be translated into the whole universe, as the texts or the Shastras say. In the hair follicles of Lord Vishnu, there are thousands of universes or multiverses. So Lord Vishnu or Mahavishnu as we call him, he encompasses the whole universe. The whole universe is within his self. So Lord Vishnu is infinite and his stories are also infinite, but I will tell some of the stories. What are the topics of today's satsang? They are Sri Jagannath as per the Shastras and Puranas, historical background, nitis or rituals of Sri Jagannath temple, servitors associated with various nitis, the bhogos or food offerings offered at the temple, festivals associated with Sri Jagannath temple, different vesas or attires or dresses of Sri Jagannath, the Rath Yatra, as you all know as car festival of Sri Jagannath, influence of various gurus in Sri Jagannath culture, Nava Kalevara, the renewal of the physical form of the deities, who is Sri Jagannath in reality, and conclusion. First, I will begin with a story. Usually in satsang, we tell lot of stories to connect with the devotees. So I will begin with a story of Lord Nila Madhav. Madhav means Vishnu, Nila means blue. So before Sri Jagannath came into his physical form, he was worshipped as Lord Nila Madhav in Purushottama Khetra. This place Puri or this city Puri in ancient times was known as Purushottama Khetra. Purushottama means Lord Vishnu. His name is Purushottama. His abode is also known as Purushottama. So he was installed at the top of a mountain that was called as Nilgiri or the Blue Mountain in Puri. Atop the Blue Mountain, he was worshipped in form of a idol very similar like this, Lord Vishnu's idol. It was carved out of a blue sapphire. So Lord Vishwakarma or the divine architect had carved him. He was worshipped in form of an idol. Along with him, his consort Mahalakshmi or Goddess Lakshmi was also worshipped, and that was very beautiful place, but not known to many. Not many people knew about that. Only gods came to worship him, and there was a tribal chieftain or tribal chief who used to worship him. Once Lord Brahma came near Lord Vishnu. As we all know, Lord Brahma is the creator of universe or the various beings or creatures. He creates. Lord Vishnu preserves or maintains. Lord Shiva, he destroys or dissolutes the universe. That are the roles of the trinities. So once Lord Brahma came near Lord Vishnu and told, I have been assigned with a job to create beings, but I am not happy because they are dying prematurely, they are being afflicted by diseases. So I am very unhappy that my creation is not long lasting. What shall I do? So Lord Vishnu told Lord Brahma, listen, there is a place in Purushottama Khetra or Puri. There I am worshipped as Lord Nilamadhav. Anybody who sees my divine form will be liberated, will attain moksha or mukti. So after that, this place became famous. A lot of people came to visit Lord Nilamadhav and they got liberated. Then Lord Yama, who is the god of death, he came to Lord Vishnu and told, listen, I have been assigned with a job to punish people as per their deeds. But whoever comes to this place, whether he is a sinner or a good person, he gets liberated. So I do not have any role in this place. What shall I do? So then Lord Vishnu told Lord Yama that, okay, don't worry, I will stay in this place because this place I cannot desert. It is my eternal abode. Forever I am living in this place. I will never desert this place even for a second. But what I will do, I will stay here in invisible form so that people cannot see me in their physical eyes and your job will be easier. So long after that, when this place became famous, King Indradyumna, the king of Avanti, another state. Our state is Orissa. At that time, it was Kalinga or Utkala. So, the king of Avanti, King Indradyumna, he came to know about Purushottama Khetra and Lord Nilamadhav. He became interested to see him. He sent his messengers, and his secret desire was to bring the idol of Nilamadhav to his own place and worship him. So when he tried to come to this place, he began on a procession to visit this place. And when he arrived at this place, the idol of Nilamadhav vanished because Lord Vishnu had told Yama that I will not stay in physical form at this place. So the idol vanished and the king was very unhappy. Then the king sat in meditation. After some days, Lord Vishnu appeared in a dream or in a vision to him and told, don't worry, I will appear in a wooden form. There a sacred wood will appear here. you have to carve out idols and worship me. So a sacred wood came here. Somewhere it is told it came out of the yajna. Somewhere it is told it came floating through the sea and appeared here. So the sacred wood was brought. Now who will carve out the wood and make the idols? Many people came, and the divine architect Lord Vishwakarma, who is the architect of the gods, he came disguised in form of an old man and he told, I will do it. Somehow the king was convinced that he can do it, but he had one condition, that inside a closed room where doors will be closed from outside, I will carve out the idols, but do not open it prematurely. If you open it, I will stop my work. So his work continued for several days, and the sound of carving out the idols were being heard from outside. Suddenly, after several days, there was no noise from inside. So the king and queen became anxious. The queen thought, he's an old man, he might die, something might have happened to him, so let us open the door. The king was reluctant. Finally, the king agreed, and when they opened the door, there was no old man inside, only the idols, as I showed you, only these half built idols were there. Because as you can see in these idols, the hands the hands are not complete, there are no feet, and this is not a regular shape. So this particular form was present there, and the king thought it is the wish of the Lord, so let us worship as such. So Lord Nilamadhav came to be worshipped as Lord Jagannath, Lord Balabhadra, Goddess Subhadra, and Sri Sudarshan. And what happened to the blue idol, or the idol of blue sapphire? As Lord Vishnu had told, it is still there, invisible beneath the golden sands. Somewhere it is still there. So now this is the Purana or the Shastra, what the mythologies say. Now let us come to the historical part. What does history say? There is a chronicle of Sri Jagannath temple known as Madala Panji that writes down all the events of the temple. According to Madala Panji, at the time of Adi Shankaracharya, who was a great spiritual guru of ancient India, so when he came to Puri or Purushottama Khetra, he found out that in the Jagannath temple there are no idols. It was empty. Because at that time, from time to time, many non-believers used to attack the temple to plunder wealth and to destroy the images. So to safeguard the idols, the priest and the people and the king used to transport them or relocate them to a different place farther from Puri, in a secret place, so that the idols are protected. So when Sri Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya came to Puri, he found out there are no idols on the temple. For the last 144 years, they have been relocated to somewhere else. So he sat in meditation. He found out that in western Odisha, our state is Odisha, in western Odisha there is a place called Sonpur, and there the idols have been kept, secretly kept. The timeline of Shankaracharya, there are two different views. The chief monasteries, there are four mutts, there are four Shankaracharya Pithas. They believe the timeline of Adi Shankaracharya is 6th century BC. But most of the scholars, they believe it is 8th century AD. So we will not discuss that. We will believe whatever the timeline is, Shankaracharya did come to Puri and found out that there are no idols here. They have been relocated to in Sonpur, Western Orissa, and there has been no worship since last 144 years. So he took help of King Jajati Kesari, the king of Odisha, and both of them went to Sonpur. They found out there was a big banyan tree. At the root of the banyan tree, the idols have been kept. The earth was dug up and the idols were buried inside for last 144 years. So they ordered to dig up the place and found out because the idols are made up of wood, so only remnants were found. So they brought the remnants and built new idols and reinstated them in the Sri Jagannath temple, and the worship again began. Another part, and we do not know what worship was going on before Adi Shankaracharya. As we know, for last 144 years there has been no worship, but we know that before 144 years the idols were worshipped, but since how long they were worshipped, there is no data. Again, the current Sri Jagannath temple, as you see now, it was built by King Chodaganga Deva, the Ganga, the Eastern Ganga monarch, who built the current Sri Jagannath temple in 12th century AD. Why he built this temple? Because when King Jajati Keshari and Adi Shankaracharya restarted the puja, the previous temple had been destroyed or it was in a bad condition. So they built a very small temple, 38 hands in height, and reinstated the deities. Afterwards, that temple also became old, so there was a need to build a new temple. So the current Sri Jagannath temple was built by King Chodaganga Deva in 12th century AD. So to make it easier, in 11th century AD, the Lingaraj temple was built at Bhubaneswar. In 12th century AD, the Jagannath temple was built at Puri. And in 13th century AD, the Konark Sun temple was built. But before that, earlier temples were also there, but the worship was going on. Now we will come to know about the nitis or rituals of Sri Jagannath temple. As you might know, in a Hindu temple, there are many rituals offered to the deities, commonly like changing of dresses or clothes, making offerings, then ceremonial lamp waving, offering foods, so giving flowers or offering puja, giving garlands. That's all. That is the basic ritual. But in Sri Jagannath temple, the rituals are very complicated. There are so many rituals. They have evolved over the time. So there are certain daily rituals and there are certain seasonal or festive rituals. Here is the picture at the left side. You can see it is called Lord Patita Pavana. It is situated just at the gate of the Lord Jagannath temple in the eastern gate. Why it was there? Because those people who cannot enter into the temple due to some reasons, or those who are Hindus who can enter into the temple, but at that time they do not have enough time to go inside and have a darshan, they want to have a vision from the outside, they can have a darshan of this Lord Jagannath and get equal results. So it is called the Patita Pavana. Actually, it was built during the time of a king of Puri who became Muslim, who was converted to Muslim religion. So he was not allowed to enter into the temple. So during his time, he had built this image of Lord Jagannath so that he felt connected to the Lord Jagannath idol. So there are daily rituals and there are seasonal or festive rituals. So what are the daily rituals? Why it is so complicated? The first ritual is Dwarafita, or the opening of the door of the temple. Then Mangala Arati means ceremonial waving of lamps offered to the deities. Then Mailam. Mailam means changing of dress. What the lords are wearing from previous night, they are changed and new clothes or fresh clothes are offered to them. Then Abakasa. Abakasa means they brush their tooth and take bath. How? Like as we brush our teeth, the deities' brush like a big wooden stick is offered to them. That is a specific stick that is shown to them, symbolizing the lords are brushing their teeth. Then they are getting bath also. How they will take bath? Not a physical bath. Three big metallic mirrors are kept in front of them. Their image is reflected in the mirror and water is poured over it. So it symbolically means the deities are taking bath. Then Surya Puja. Puja offered to the sun god. Before the prasad or food is cooked in the temple kitchen, the puja offered to the sun god, because the kitchen is the place of fire. So before making any uh, cooking work, the sun god is worshipped. Then Dwarapala Puja, the doorkeepers are worshipped. Then Gopala Vallabha and Sakala Dhupa means morning breakfast is offered to the deities. Then Moilama, again they change their dress. Then again lunch is offered to them. Bhoga Mandapa Bhoga and Madhyana Dhupa. Then Madhyana Pahura. Pahura means closing of the door so that the deities can rest. So they take an afternoon nap. Then Sandhya Dhupa, evening food is offered to them. Then Sandhya Arati, the evening ceremonial waving of lamps. Then Moilama, again they change their dress. Then Badasinghara, at the night they are adorned with flowers. It is the most beautiful attire or vesha of Lord Jagannath. They are adorned with lot of flowers. It is very beautiful to look at. Then Badasinghara Bhogo, then some more food or dinner is offered to them. Then Khata Seja Lagi, they go to bed. How? Some small beds are there in which the representative idol is put on there to symbolically mean that the deities are taking their sleep. Then Pahura, closing of the door. So from opening of the door to the closing of the door, so many rituals are there and they are serially done. We cannot skip one ritual and do another. It has to be carried out. If one ritual ends, then only another can begin. So many servitors are also required. Those who will carry out these rituals, there should be so many people to carry out these rituals. Okay, so there is no fixed time of darshan of Lord Jagannath inside the temple, because we do not know when a ritual will get delayed. So there is no fixed time of the Mahaprasad, the food which is offered to Lord Jagannath. There is no fixed time at what moment the food would arrive. And if something happens, like somebody, if there is some cut, blood comes out, or somebody passes urine or stool, then the rituals get stopped until the whole temple premises is sanctified. Again the rituals or nitis begin. So it is very lengthy process, and this has evolved over the years, not initially. So as I said, to finish so many rituals, we need so many servitors also. As per the record of rites of Sri Jagannath temple, there are 119 categories of servitors who perform those rituals, and they are all hereditary. Not that government will appoint one servitor. Hereditary, they will do the service. And there are mainly of two types. One, like there is a single person doing a service. Suppose I am doing a service, I am a single person, and there are service by a group of people, like various families doing the service. So the single person who does the service, the one example is the Gajapati Maharaja, the photo, the current king of Puri, Gajapati Dibya Singha Deva. He is a single servitor, and he is the first and foremost servitor of Lord Jagannath. You might ask, what type of service the king must be doing here? He is a king. What service he needs to do? Actually, what he has many services. One of them, Perhaps the most important amongst them is sweeping the floor of the chariots at the time of Rath Yatra or the car festival, when the deities come out of the temple and they are placed on the chariots. The king comes and sweeps the floor. Why? Because in 15th century, the king had declared Lord Jagannath as the state deity or the tutelary head of the state. The king is only a representative of Lord Jagannath to carry out his service and rule the state. The tutelary head was Lord Jagannath. So the king is a servant and he sweeps the floor of the chariots. There is an interesting story related to this service. In 15th century AD, the king Purushottam Dev, he was the king. He wanted to marry a beautiful princess named Padmavati, who was the daughter of king of Kanchi, a southern kingdom. So he sent a messenger to king of Kanchi, told that I want to marry your daughter. I am king of Puri. And the king of Kanchi sent a message to him that I don't want to give the hands of my daughter to a king who is a sweeper, because he used to sweep the floors of the chariots. So the king became enraged. He felt it is not an insult to him, but it was an insult to Lord Jagannath. So he became enraged and he went to fight a war with king of Kanchi. And he won the war and brought the daughter of king of Kanchi to Puri and told his minister that you marry off this lady to a sweeper as a revenge. But the minister was very clever. He waited, because after some months the Rath Yatra would have happened. So at the time of Rath Yatra, while the king was sweeping the floors of the chariots, the minister appeared with the princess and told, "O king, as per your words, I am offering the hands of the princess to you, because there are no more worthy sweepers than you." So he married and they lived happily ever after. It is a true story. So the Gajapati Maharaj, we call him Gajapati. He is the first and foremost servitor of Lord Jagannath. Next in the hierarchy is the Paricha or Rajguru, the chief counsel to the king. Next, Chhatisa Nijog Nayak Pattajoshi Mahapatra. The Pattajoshi Mahapatra is the captain or the leader of all the servitors, rest of the servitors. He leads them. So he is the Chhatisa Nijog Nayak Pattajoshi Mahapatra. Apart from that, many other servitors are there, like the priest who do the puja. There is a servitor who washes the clothes of the deities. Usually the washermen people, they are considered from a lower caste, but here the servitor who washes the clothes of the deities, he is Brahmin by caste. He is from the highest caste. So there are servitors who build the chariot. There are servitors who cook. So many servitors, though 119 types in number, but their total number might be more than 1000 if we make a total of their numbers. Now let us come, what are the offerings, food offerings offered to the deities in the temple. So there is a big kitchen inside the Sri Mandir or Lord Jagannath temple premises that can cook food for 50,000 to 1 lakh people at a time. Such a huge kitchen. And every day, apart from the usual food offered to the deities, many people order food. Like we have a function in our home, we have a marriage or a ceremony, we on advance we tell them we want Mahaprasad or food from the temple, so they cook food. And all this, they are into two types. One is Anna Mahaprasad or the cooked rice food, and one is dry Mahaprasad or the dry food. That dry Mahaprasad or dry food can last longer, they can be kept for several days, but this Anna Mahaprasad or the cooked rice food, immediately you have to consume. Okay. So the food is cooked in the kitchen. It is believed Goddess Mahalakshmi or the consort of Lord Jagannath, she cooks the food, and the food is, all the food is carried out to a place known as Bhoga Mandapa and kept there, and the priest inside the temple, he chants mantras, offers the food to Lord Jagannath, and gives some tulsi leaves that are kept. As you can see, there are certain tulsi leaves on the rice. The tulsi leaves are kept on the Mahaprasad, and it becomes Mahaprasad and ready to be consumed by the devotees. And there is also dry Mahaprasad of foods offered to the deities that can last for several days. People used to carry this food when they come to Puri and return from this place. They carry the dry Mahaprasad for their friends, relatives, etc. These foods mainly are of 56 types. We call it Chapan Bhoga. The 56 types of foods offered to the deities, like sweet dishes, pitha manda, cakes and breads, rice dishes, milk preparations, dal and curries, etc. The chief food of our state, Odisha, is rice. It is full of carbohydrate, it gives us energy. Dal is full of protein. The curries are made up of like vitamins, minerals. Ghee is offered in the prasad, that is full of fat. So it is a complete diet. Whatever we need, the ingredients to nourish us, all the dietary elements are in this Mahaprasad. Now let us know what are the festivals associated with Sri Jagannath temple. We call Baro masare tero jatara. In local term, we call Baro masare means in 12 month, tero jatara, 13 festival. And these are the 13 festivals, the main festivals associated with Sri Jagannath temple, most important of them being the Rath Jatra or the Car festival. And before the Rath Jatra, there is a Snana Jatra or bathing festival, in which the deities are carried out to a place known as Snana Mandapa. There they are offered 108 pots of sacred water. That is the only day in the year they are getting a bath, a physical bath. Why they are given a bath? If we logically analyze, they are made up of neem wood, they are wooden deities, so the wood will not last for a long time if not properly taken care of. So there are certain layers and pastes around which are wrapped around them, and while we give them bath, those clothes and the pastes become wet, and it is easier to clean them and wrap them with new cloth and new special paste, so that the wooden deities can stay for a longer time without any decay. So that is the intention of Snana Jatra. But after Snana Jatra, locally we say the deities become ill. They get afflicted by fever. Actually, they get treated with new paste and to treat the wounds. But locally we say they are ill, they are suffering from fever. And there is a doctor servitor also. He is a servitor, he is a doctor. He offers Ayurvedic medicine to the lords. After some time, he gets fit and he is rejuvenated and comes out on the chariot to move in the car in the chariot on the car festival. Then there are different vesas or attires of Lord Jagannath throughout the year. There are daily vesas or daily dresses, and there are specific vesas or dresses. Daily they change cloth, and at night they are adorned with, it is called as Bada Singara Vesha, means the attire made up of flowers only. It is a he is dressed every day in this flower dress, but in specific days he is dressed that are reminiscent of the Leelas or stories of Lord Rama or Lord Krishna also. So like Krishna Balarama Vesha, Giri Govardhana Vesha. So the Veshas related to Lord Krishna are there. Vesha related to Lord Rama is also there. There is a Vesha called as Raghunatha Vesha. It is, as we know, Lord Balabhadra or Balarama is the eldest brother, Lord Jagannath is the youngest brother. But in Raghunatha Vesha, Lord Jagannath becomes the elder brother and Lord Balabhadra becomes the younger brother. How? Because Lord Rama is the elder one, Lord Lakshmana is the younger one. So in Raghunatha Vesha, it is the only Vesha where Lord Jagannath is the elder brother. But this Vesha was last held in 1905. After that, this Vesha has not been repeated only because it needs lot of precious jewels and ornaments, and the administration at the temple administration do not feel safe to carry out this Vesha because lot of people will flock to see the Vesha and they can't control the crowd. And as you know, there are some secret places or departments inside the temple where the jewelries, the precious jewelries, gold, diamond, rubies, emeralds, they are kept, lot of gold are kept. So from that chamber, the jewelries are being brought up to dress the lords. And currently the most important Vesha is the Suna Vesha or the golden attire. In 15th century, the king of Puri had conquered a southern kingdom and brought lots of tons of gold from there, which he offered to the deities. And with that gold, the lords get dressed in golden attire. So there are lot of dresses which we can see from time to time inside the Jagannath temple and outside in the chariot also. The golden attire we can see in the chariot also. That is called Sunavesa or the golden attire. This is the Rath Jatra, the important festival, the most important festival of Sri Jagannath. It is held in the month of June and July. This is the only time when the deities come out of the temple and move in the Grand Road. They move from Sri Jagannath temple to the Sri Gundicha temple, and this festival is a 9-day long festival. At the end, they return from the Sri Gundicha temple and again enter into the Sri Jagannath temple. The influence of various gurus. Lot of gurus, not only from Hinduism, but from other religions have come to Puri, and they have all accepted Lord Jagannath as their desired deity. Adi Shankaracharya came here, he made reforms, he made a pitha or his monastery, it is called as Govardhan Pitha. Adi Shankaracharya has established 4 monasteries in India, in 4 different parts of India. In Puri, it is known as Govardhan Pitha. Then Ramanujacharya also came. He established his monastery also in Puri. Guru Nanak, the Sikh Guru, he also came to Puri. He composed a very famous Sikh Arati or the ceremonial song while seeing Lord Jagannath. He also established a monastery here. Madhvacharya, a Vaishnava saint, Madhvacharya and Ballabhacharya, 2 Vaishnava saints, they also came here. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, another famous saint from Bhakti movement, he came to Puri. He stayed here for a long time and he spent his last years also in Puri. Apart from that, the famous Odishan saints, the 5 famous saints, Balaram Das, Jagannath Das, Achyutananda Das, Jashavanta Das and Shishuananta Das. They are 5 revered saints of Odisha. They also were associated with Sri Jagannath culture. So all of them have come here. They had different ideologies, but they got assimilated into Sri Jagannath culture. Then Navakalevara, as I had told you before, the deities are made up of wood and the wood does not last for a long time. So the deities are made up of neem wood. Neem has insecticidal value. Insects do not easily affect the neem wood. That's why the deities are made up of neem wood. And after every 8 year or 12 year or 19 year, when in the lunar calendar twin Ashada months form, at that time we get one extra month to build the new idols. At that time, four different trees are identified, one for Lord Jagannath, one for Lord Balabhadra, one for Devi Subhadra, and one for Lord Sudarshan. Four different trees are identified after checking some divine signs, some auspicious signs, like no birds have their nests there, so protected by a snake, such and such. So the four trees are identified, they are cut after some ceremony, they are brought to Puri, and after some worship, the servitors who build the chariots, the carpenter servitors, they carve out the divine, new divine forms of the deities. And at the end, there is an interesting part. From the old deities, the secret Brahma Padartha, which we call the soul of the deity, there is a special chamber inside the deities where certain auspicious things are kept. They are transferred from the old deity to the new deity. People often speculate what is it, because it is very secret service. We should not know about it, or this should not be told. Only the servitors associated with the ritual, they know. We believe certain divine things like auspicious salagram or something else are there. But nowadays on YouTube and social media, people say it is the navel of Lord Krishna. That is not true, because Lord Jagannath was established in Satya Yuga. There are four yuga or four different timeline in Hinduism: the Satya Yuga, the Tretaya Yuga, the Dwapara Yuga, and the Kali Yuga. This current age is Kali Yuga. Lord Jagannath was established in Satya Yuga. Lord Krishna came in Dwapara Yuga, which is the third timeline. So how can his navel be inside the chamber of Lord Jagannath? So this is not true. Whatever it is, some sacred or divine things are there. They are transferred to the new deities, and the new deities again get reinstated in the temple. Who is Sri Jagannath in reality? Is he Vishnu? Is he Shiva or something else? As I told earlier, we know the historical record up to Adi Shankaracharya. If we believe what most modern scholars believe, the timeline of Adi Shankaracharya is 8th century AD. What was there before him? If we follow the history of Odishan temples, before 4th and 5th century AD, there was no Hindu temple. The Hindu temples came into being after 4th and 5th century AD. Before that, there were Jain and Buddhist relics. Like in there is a Udayagiri and Khandagiri caves. They are from 2nd or 3rd century BC. There are some Ashokan edicts in Dhauligiri, that is also from 2nd century or 3rd century BC. Before that, there are some remnants of a civilization near Bhubaneswar. It is called Shishupala Gada. Some pillars, stone pillars are there. It is 6th, 7th century BC. But there are no Hindu monuments before or prior to 4th century AD. So before that, what was worshipped in Puri? We find certain Jain idols inside the Sri Mandir campus, just near to the main Sri Mandir or the main temple of Jagannath. There are Jain idols. Some people say, I am not telling it is the truth. Some people say Lord Jagannath was initially worshipped as a Jain idol called as Jinanath. From Jinanath, he became Jagannath. We do not know what is the truth. Many people say because the mythologies associated with Lord Jagannath tell that he was worshipped as a tribal god. like I told, in the form of Nilamadhav, was worshipped by the tribal chieftain. So he was worshipped as a tribal god in ancient times. Some people say Lord Jagannath was a form of Buddha because the Rath Yatra tradition is also followed by the Buddhist. So Buddhists used to have their Rath Yatra also. So is Lord Jagannath a joint deity? Was he a joint deity initially? Was he a Buddhist deity initially? Or later on, we know he is a form of Vishnu, but the Shaivas also worship him as Bhairava, and goddess Bimala is worshipped as Bhairavi in Jagannath temple. So is he a form of Shiva? The Shaktas, the devotees of Shakti, they worship him as Dakshina Kalika or Dakshina Kali. So is he Dakshina Kali? What he is? If we study the current temple, atop the main temple there is a wheel or Sudarshana Chakra. That is the symbol of Lord Vishnu. And in the Jagannath temple, at his three sides, there are three side deities who are Vamana, Nrsimha, and Varaha. Varaha, Nrsimha, and Vamana, one of the three Dasavatars. So usually Varaha, Nrsimha, and Vamana are seen in Krishna temple or Vishnu temple. From the three side deities and the Sudarshan Chakra above the temple, we can conclude it is a form. Lord Jagannath is a form of Vishnu. Though other sects, they can also worship him as their desired form, but mainly, principally, Lord Jagannath is a form of Vishnu. And conclusion, thanks for listening me to for such a long time. Actually, though Lord Jagannath is worshipped as a god, for local people, we people at Puri, we see him as a family member. We have a family function. We present invitation cards to the guest, but the first invitation card always is given at the Jagannath temple. It is for the Lord Jagannath. We have planted a tree in our premises. The first fruit that comes out, we offer it to Lord Jagannath. If we are very sad, we are suffering, we go to the temple and offer prayers to Lord Jagannath. We just stand there, look into the eyes for a longer time, and we tell him our worries. For us, he is not something unreachable or a God whom we cannot reach. He is a common man, he is one amongst us. And if we other people address him as Lord Jagannath, but locally we call him Kaliya. Kaliya, it can be translated into Blackie. He is black in color. We can tell him as Kaliya. We call him as Chokadola, means round-eyed. So like this we converse with him. So he lives amongst us. He is not something unreachable. And as I said, the earlier form was Lord Nilamadhav, and the tribal chieftain was worshipping him with not so many complicated rituals. It was only pure bhakti. Tribals do not know so many mantras or rituals. They are very simple beings. So during the time of Nilamadhav, there was no complicated ritual. Slowly, as time went passed by, many rituals came, many rituals have gone. So now also it is very complicated process, but still bhakti rules. Bhakti is the primary thing. I will conclude with one story. There was a devotee who belonged to a lower class. He was living in a nearby village. So in his campus there are some coconut trees. So he got a coconut and he brought a dry coconut and he went to Puri to offer it to Lord Jagannath. But the priests didn't allow him into the temple. They told, you are from a lower caste, you cannot enter into the temple. At that time, the lower caste people were not allowed inside. So he just told, I am Dasya. His name was Dasya. So I am Dasya. I have brought a dry coconut for you. Please take it. And from nowhere else, there came a came a force and it lifted the coconut, and the coconut traveled into the main sanctum sanctorum of the temple and reached the place of Lord Jagannath. It is a true story which we believe. So bhakti is the main thing. Initially, we believe, or the Vedas said, the God was one. There was one entity. He wanted to be many. So God was Paramatma. We are many. We are Jivatma. So if we are Jivatma, the God, we can visualize that Lord Jagannath is Paramatma, but he is not separate from us. He is one amongst us. Ultimately, we will submerge with him. Jai Jagannath.